Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel, and in this video this is what we are going to be doing. This is an organza ruffle top, looking so fine, looking so pretty. You can use any color of your choice. I just decided to use a white organza. So if this is something you want to learn how to make, you want to learn how to get these ruffles neatly done, just stick till the end of this video. Alright guys, so the fabric I am making use of is an organza fabric, and I have 2 yards here with me. I'm making use of 2 yards of organza, and these are the required measurements that you need. So just go ahead and take your client's measurements. You don't need too much. You don't need too much for this tutorial. Now you want to first press your material, because organza can be very slippery in the machine. It can be a little bit stubborn while sewing, so you want to make sure that you press it very well and make it straight before you start cutting. So here I'm just going ahead to trim out the down part so that I can have a straight line. Then the next thing, I'm taking the length of this top. Is going to be a short top, more like a crop top. So the length of this top is 19 inches. I have marked it out, and what I have left is about 2 inches, which is going to be my allowance for folding the down or whatever you want to do to the down. And then this top now is my shoulder. I'm taking out my shoulder line first, and from there I'll go ahead and take my chest line, which is also my armhole depth, and I'm dividing my bust by 4, and that is what I am making use of. And the next line I just marked now is my under bust measurements. All right, now to the shoulder parts, you're going to be dividing your shoulder into 2. Whatever your shoulder is, divide into 2 and add ½ inch for seam allowance, and then you mark it. Then go ahead and take your neckline. I'm making use of 3 inches wide and about 3.5 inches depth. And then remember, I folded this fabric into 4. Sorry, I forgot to say that this fabric is folded into 4, meaning that I'm cutting both front and back together. Okay, so the first neckline you see there is for the back neckline, because it's going to be a bit higher. All right, now I have gone ahead to slant my shoulder by ½ inch, and then I ruled out my shoulder line. And then the next thing, I want to take my bust measurements divided by 4. Okay, now the whole idea of this part is just to draft your basic bodies. Just draft out your basic bodies. If you know this very well, this is not going to be much of an issue to you. All right, so this is the down part. Okay, depending on how wide you want it to be, you have to add allowance to your waistline, and it's also the length of the top, so that it's not going to be too tight at the down. Now just go ahead and connect your measurements together as usual. This is just a normal way of drafting a top, and then you curve out your armhole and also the neckline. So this top is not having a zipper, so there will be no need for a zipper allowance. Now guys, at the down part of it, I just want to give a little bit of curve, just like you see me do right now. I don't want it to be that sharp. I just want to give it a little curve there to give it a shape, something like a curved shape. Okay, so now we are done with the drafting, and I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So guys, after cutting, the next thing I want to do is to take away my back piece. All right, I'll just put that away, and then I'll go ahead and cut out my front neckline. Remember, the both neckline are different, so I'll just go ahead and cut out the front neckline. And now we are done cutting the front and the back. Now here is my back piece, and on the back piece I'll be coming down on the neckline. Come down by about 4.5. You can make use of 5 inches. All right, you just want to open it up a bit. Now this opening is going to help it pass through your neck. It's not having a zipper, so you need this opening at the back so it can be able to pass through your neck. Now the next thing to do is to cut your facing. This is going to serve as a lining for you to be able to turn the neckline and the armhole curve. Okay, remember the armhole is sleeveless. There's no sleeve attached to this top. All right, so just watch the way I am cutting the facing. So just make sure it is long enough to cover the armhole depth. All right, so you do this for the front and also for the back piece. So here is the front piece. You want to do the same thing, so just go ahead and copy and paste. Okay, you're not adding any allowances or anything, just follow up the exact cutting. Now on this front piece, I actually forgot to come in by half an inch, so just get the mid parts of your armhole and come in by half an inch, and this is to eliminate any bulgy effects you're going to be having around your armhole. Now, by the time you open it up, this is exactly what we are going to be having. So you just want to place the facing on top of the lining and then go to your machine and sew around the neck and also the armhole just like this. Okay, organza does not have front or back, so you're safe to use any parts you want. And now this is the back, so I'll still do the same thing. I'll go to my machine. You want to sew the armhole all around, and then this opening you are still going to sew it all around, and also the neckline. So guys, I'm done sewing. I'm done stitching up the neckline and also the armhole, and this is what it looks like. So just give it a very good press, okay, to have a neat job. So I also added my button loop to it, and then I'll be fixing my button this at this part later on to close up the back. So my back and my front piece already. Now we'll put this aside and let's go ahead and work on the ruffle. Now I have a pattern paper, so I'll just fold it into 4 pieces. Fold it in a way that you want to cut a peplon. This is like cutting a peplon flare. So now I'll be coming down by 4 inches. You might want to use your nipple to nipple measurements divided by 2. Add ½ inch allowance for seam and then just connect your circle together. Okay, I made use of 4 inches. When you open it up, you're going to have a full circle just like this. So I'll be making use of this circle to cut on my organza piece. Now I folded my organza into 2 and I'll just place my circle pattern right on top of the organza. Just watch exactly how I am doing it. It is very simple. So while cutting, you might want to leave ½ inch all around the edges, just like this. You might want to just leave ½ inch. You can decide not to because you already added ½ inch while you were cutting. So it all depends on what you want. Now go to the machine and just sew it all around. The next thing is to pick a part of it and just make a small hole on one part of this circle, and you're going to be turning it inside out through that circle. But first of all, make sure you notch the circle all around before turning it so that it could lap very well after ironing it. Now, the next thing I'm trying to do is to cut out the ropes I'm going to be using for this ruffle. Now, the measurements I'm taking here is 7.5, and if you fold it again into 2, you're going to be having 3.5, okay? So I'm going to be cutting on a straight line. You're making just a straight cutting, okay? There's no curves or patterns to this. And make sure to iron it very well so that it will be very easy to work with. Alright guys, I'm done pressing and cutting it out, and this is what I have. So you want to make it as long as possible, okay? This is very long because your ruffles are going to be in pleats. So now you can see it is 3.5 on fold. So go to your machine and just sew it all round, okay? And at the edges you want to push them inside, like fold the edges inside so that you can have a smooth edge. So now this is how you make your ruffles, and using this pattern there are other ways of achieving this ruffle, but I feel this is the best way that is going to be very easy, especially for beginners. So you want to first of all make your pleats using your machine. So just do it just the way I am doing it right now. Keep forming your pleats as you sew. You keep pushing it in, keep pushing in to form fine pleats just like this. Now after doing that, you want to get the circle you made earlier, and then I'm going ahead to just sketch a spiral lines all around it, leaving half inch away from the down part. So I'm just going ahead to draw spiral lines. Now you might want to do this if you are a beginner, okay, so that you would know the lines that you're going to be sewing on. So this is what I have. You're going to be having spiral lines until you get to the tip of the circle. So here guys, it's time to make our ruffles. Now you're going to be folding the edge right inside so that it's not visible. Fold the edge right inside, and then you want to start sewing on those spiral lines that you made. Just keep sewing it as you're going, you're forming your circle. As you're going, you're forming your circle, and this makes it much easier because you already formed your gathers. So it's going to be much easier for you to make this directly on the circle. At the end of the day, this is what we have, guys. This is looking very beautiful. It's looking full, and you can have a fuller ruffle depending on the length of your fabric. Now, after we are done with that, the next thing I want to do is to place it right on the front piece of my top or anything that you're working with. So I went ahead to iron it out so that I can have a line at the middle just to be visible, okay? Now you want to place your circle ruffle on top. Find the middle parts of your piece and just place it on top. So you use a pin and hold it round, okay? You're going to be designing this whichever way and however position that you want to place it. But I'm very sure you want to place it right at the middle of your piece. And then you take it to your machine and just sew it all around, okay? At the end of the day, this is what it looks like after stitching it down to the front. So now you want to close up front and back together. So this is the normal way you close your dress. Just place it front side facing front side, and then I'm using a pin to hold it down. So go ahead and take your measurements, confirm your shoulder measurements, and then take your bust measurement divided by 2. Add your desired allowance depending on how fitted or free you want it to be. Now you confirm your armhole curve, okay? I'm using 8 inches for this and also 8 inches on the other side. And then you also take the down part, okay, depending on how free you also want it to be, but you want to make it free as possible so that it can actually pass through. Connect your lines together and then you just go and close it up like this. So guys, this is it after sewing it. I've gone ahead to turn it inside out and I'll just give it a very good press. And our ruffle top is so ready, so ready. I also went ahead to fix my button. If you don't want a button at the back, you can also make yours a side zip. Just go ahead and design it whichever way you please. Now the good thing about this ruffle design is it can be placed anywhere in a dress, not necessarily this particular design. You can choose to place it wherever you want it. It will still come out this beautiful and nice. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a like. And let me use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to my 500 subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please click on the subscribe button.